All right, let's talk about a security challenge that's moving at the speed of the cloud itself. I mean, how do you possibly protect applications that are built from dozens of tiny pieces, constantly changing, and spread all over the place? Well, we're going to dive into that by looking at one of the biggest names trying to solve this puzzle, Aqua Security.
So let's just start with this question right here, because it gets straight to the point. You're building these incredible, scalable applications that are born in the cloud for the cloud. But did your security thinking make that same leap? Or is it still stuck in the past? That is the fundamental problem we're digging into today.
You know, before we can even talk about the solution, we've got to get a real handle on the problem. The very things that make modern software development so amazing, the speed, the agility, have also kind of accidentally created a whole new world of security headaches that old school tools just have no idea how to deal with. I mean, just look at this stack. This is the toolkit for building software today, right? Docker, Kubernetes, microservices. These are the engines of speed and scale. But this complexity, it's a real double-edged sword. Every single one of these components, every layer, introduces new potential backdoors for attackers. And here's what those backdoors actually look like. We are so far beyond just worrying about a firewall. The threats today are buried deep inside the development process itself. We're talking about a vulnerability in a bit of code you pulled from the internet, a simple typo in a Kubernetes config file, or even a malicious attack hidden in one of your software's dependencies. So how in the world do you defend against threats that are basically woven into the DNA of your applications? Well, that's where you need a specialized tool. So let's meet our subject for today, Aqua Security. Okay, so that's the official definition, but what does it actually mean? It means Aqua is built from the ground up to protect every single piece of that modern stack we just looked at. And this part is absolutely crucial. It does it at every single stage, from the moment a developer writes the first line of code all the way to when that app is live and running. And if you're gonna remember one thing, let it be this. Instead of trying to tape together 10 or 12 different security tools, Aqua's goal is to be the one single platform you need to protect your entire cloud-native universe, the whole shebang. So how does Aqua actually pull this off? It's not magic. It follows a really simple but powerful 3-phase playbook that lines up perfectly with how modern applications are built and delivered. Build, deploy, and run. Get these 3 words locked in your head because they are the heart and soul of the entire Aqua platform. This is the fundamental structure for everything it does. Let's break them down one by one. First up, the build phase. The whole philosophy here is what people call shifting security left. All that means is finding and fixing problems as early as humanly possible, right when the code is being written, because it is so much easier and cheaper to fix a problem then than when it's already live in front of customers. And the star of the show in this phase is a tool called Aqua Trivy. You may have heard of it. It's a super popular open source scanner that plugs right into the development pipeline. So before a container's even built, Trivy is already tearing it apart, looking for known security holes, dangerous settings, or even secret keys that a developer might have accidentally left in the code. Okay, so you've scanned your code, you've got a clean bill of health. Awesome. Now it's time to actually push it out to the world. This is where Aqua switches hats and becomes the tough-as-nails gatekeeper for your live environment. Seriously, think of it like a bouncer at a really exclusive club. Aqua checks the ID of every single thing trying to get in. If an application image has a critical vulnerability that your company has banned, denied. If it hasn't even been scanned for security issues, nope, not getting in. It gets blocked right at the door. And now we get to the main event, the final, and what many would argue is the most powerful phase, runtime. This is where Aqua really earns its keep. Because what happens if a totally new, never-before-seen threat pops up in an application that's already running? See, this is the game changer. Runtime protection isn't just looking for bad guys it already knows. It actually learns what your application's normal behavior looks like. And then, the second anything deviates from that, like a weird network connection or a process trying to get admin rights, it blocks it instantly. It stops the attack dead in its tracks as it's happening. Okay, so we've got a good idea of how Aqua works. But let's be real, it's not the only game in town. It's a crowded market out there. So how does it actually stack up against the competition? Now, you can see here that other tools are strong, really strong, in their own lanes. Snyk, for example, is amazing at supply chain security. But Aqua is consistently strong or excellent right across the board. And then your eyes go right to that runtime protection row. That's where it's rated the strongest. That's its killer feature. And this quote just nails it. It's that 1-2 punch of deep runtime protection combined with being a true end-to-end CNAPP. And CNAPP just stands for Cloud Native Application Protection Platform. All that really means is it's a single, unified platform designed to do everything. And that integration is Aqua's secret sauce. So with all this power and all these features, it all comes down to the big question. Is Aqua actually the right choice for you and your team? Let's quickly run through the pros and cons. So on the plus side, you get that complete coverage from build to run. You get top-tier protection for containers and Kubernetes. You get that amazing runtime defense. And it's all built on a foundation of a powerful open-source tool. It is absolutely an enterprise-ready solution.
But of course, no tool is perfect. We gotta be honest about the other side of the coin. A platform this comprehensive, it's not cheap. Getting it set up and configured correctly can be a complex project. And to really squeeze all the value out of it, your team needs to know their way around containers. For a really small shop, it might just be more firepower than you need. And that leads us to a pretty clear verdict. Aqua is a fantastic fit for medium to large companies that are all in on cloud-native technology and are running applications where a security breach would be a really, really big deal. And that's our deep dive on Aqua Security. It's an incredibly powerful answer to today's cloud security problems. But it also leaves us with one final big question to think about. As the bad guys get smarter and start using things like AI in their attacks, how will this whole idea of end-to-end security have to evolve to stay one step ahead?